ladies and gentlemen, my name is Constantinide. Thank you so much for being here today. This is a video that's been requested by one of my subscribers, Ania Rudell. Thank you so much. And she or he requested some time ago that if I can share my take as to what I believe being an international lawyer it's like, and my own journey as to becoming an international lawyer. So this gave me the idea to actually make two videos. In this video I'm going to tell you what is it like being an international lawyer, and a video will follow on my very journey as to how I became and I am becoming an international lawyer. But let's get started. If someone would ask me what are the keywords as to that can map what it is being an international lawyer, I would say smiling through the pain, never ending, exuberant, energetic, and it makes sense. I say makes sense because practicing international law and human rights, it's not about you anymore. It's about the community, it's about the people, it's about finding meaning by dedicating your time, which is a substantial amount of time, for doing better to the world. And that has to speak into your very core to who you are and what you want to become. So if that is close to who you are, then you would find it to be very natural, because that would make sense to you as it does for me. It makes sense to practice international law and to do what I do, because it also challenged my comfort zone. There isn't a day that I can confidently say that I know everything. There are days that I may get overwhelmed by the amount of knowledge that I have to, not just to consume, but to understand, or circumstances that I find myself, how do I deal with this? How do I cope with this? Or sometimes the pressure is so much that you don't know how to deal with it. So you constantly are in a journey of redefining your boundaries as to who you are and who you want to become. And for me, that is everything. And a way to challenge your comfort zone is not just about practicing law, it's not just about practicing international law. You manage to challenge your comfort zone by reading and understanding. And every morning with my morning coffee, before I even turn on my laptop and my phones, I read a lot. And it's not just about law, it's about awareness of who I am, and reflecting on who can I potentially become. And that is quite important, because you have to strengthen your core. You have to be confident of who you are, so you don't get shaken. So that's at least for me a very important part. And I have an uncle who said to me, Diana, if you want to be rich, you have to study psychology. And definitely always a book that I have when I read, I normally have about 5 books I read at the same time. So I'll read, let's say, 3 pages per book with my morning coffee, and I get to know different things from every book. So apart from reading for my own self-growth, I read a lot my legal textbooks. So then the next step, what I do is that I would go and read the news. So I have to be aware what's happening around the world. I am reading from different sources. So it's not just about reading, let's say, BBC News. You have to make yourself aware what different news from different countries are saying. Do they have the same headlines? What do they say? What is the message? And then you're trying to interpret with your experience and what you gather, what they're saying between the lines. So it is about self-growth, but at the same time is to, you have to be into that level of ensuring that you're up to date with what is happening around you and globally. So that is about international awareness. The other thing that it's quite important as to how it is being an international lawyer, it's to be able to be in the moment. When you are dealing with a case, you have to be not just 100%, you get absorbed by that moment of being and defending, or whether prosecuting, whether you're for the respondent or the applicant, you are representing that person's best interest. And best interest is a very wide concept. It may mean that that person will plead guilty, but that will be in his best interest, because you're taking into account the whole case, the evidence against him, and there's a number of things, and you always have to advise. But what I'm saying is that you are present 100% in that moment, and there is nothing, absolutely nothing that they can take you out from it. And it's not just about when you work, it's in everything that you do. I'm not going to say that I'm great when it comes into not working. When I'm working, I am there fully percent, but when I come home sometimes that's a bit of challenge not to think about work. I just want to stress is that yes, you have to be in the moment, and of course I said that I'm struggling, maybe you're struggling, let me know if you do struggle, but it's to be able to find your own time because of the pressure that there is, because of the amount of information and the quality that you have to deliver every day. It is undeniably there, and I'm not going to say the opposite. You have to find your own way of releasing and channeling perhaps the stress that's been accumulated because of the pressure, not because you're a stressful person, but because of the pressure that's been exercised on you. You have to find ways to channel it. So I sometimes, trying to, when I come home, do the Vipassana. So for those that you do know and you practice a bit of yoga, it's when you just lie on the floor and just take time to breathe a bit. What I do is I normally walk from the court to the train station without taking any calls or without doing anything, just giving myself that time to breathe and feel my breath. Or when I come home and I cook, if I'm not 100% there, the food ends up being tasteless, and that's what my husband says. If I am 100% present at the time I'm cooking and enjoying it, then the food comes out amazing. The fact that you are practicing law and you got to where you wanted and what you've been working all this time, it doesn't mean that your engagement with the people around you and searching for new opportunities, it ends. Being an international lawyer, you have to look out what opportunities there are for the new committees. For example, now with the Yazidis, there has been some interest, some opportunities out there from few organisations, NGOs. So there are those that they do come out there and then. So you have to make yourself that you're aware to jump into that opportunity and to get to the point that you conceptualize your international profile. Last but not least, how is it being an international lawyer? There is a lot of self-doubt, and that is a huge struggle. There is always, you always think that there is something that you could have done better. You always think that you could have dealt with a situation a lot better, but it doesn't help doubting yourself. Just because it is always easier once everything is done to take yourself out of that situation and judge what's been done. It's always easier to do that, but you have to always give yourself the credit that, given the circumstances, given the pressure, given what's been happening, given the time that's been given to you, sometimes there and then the judges will be asking and requesting certain things. So well done that you managed to survive that, but don't allow that doubt to penetrate and to disintegrate who you are. Allow that self-doubt to be part of your growth and not the opposite. So that's my take as to how it is to being an international lawyer. I hope it assists you. I hope it helped you. If you do have any questions about it, please leave them down in the comments section, and I will do my best to get back to you. I'm going to now carry on filming the next video, which you're going to see in a week's time. But I hope you're well. I hope you're healthy and you're happy, and I will see you in my next video. Take care. Bye bye.